Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're diving headfirst into a topic that's sure to tickle your funny bone, especially fitting considering it's April 1st, 2025, as we speak.
April Fool's Day.
That's right. A day of pranks and hoaxes and all-around lighthearted fun. And, we've received a ton of questions from our listeners. Everyone seems to be curious about this, wanting to know more about its origins and how it's evolved over the years, and really what makes it tick.
Absolutely, and it's a fascinating topic to unravel. We've got a treasure trove of articles and historical tidbits ready to go, so...
Let's get this deep dive rolling then. What's the first thing that pops out to you when we think about April Fool's Day?
Well, for a celebration so universal, the actual origin story is surprisingly elusive. We don't have a specific founder or a eureka moment.
It's a real head-scratcher, isn't it?
Really?
So how do we even begin to trace something back when the starting line is so blurry?
One popular theory points to the adoption of the Gregorian calendar back in the 16th century. It's a bit of a calendar conundrum, you could say.
Calendar chaos? Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Before the Gregorian calendar came into the picture, many European countries celebrated New Year's Day towards the end of March, sometimes even spilling into early April.
So not on January 1st like we're used to now.
Exactly. When that shift happened, those who stuck to the old ways and continued celebrating in early April became the targets of jokes and pranks. They were, in a sense, the original April Fools.
I love that. So it's like this playful ribbing stemming from a difference in calendars. It makes you wonder if there are any even older traditions we might be missing.
You're right on the mark there. Some researchers believe there might be links to ancient Roman festivals. One in particular stands out, the Festival of Hilaria.
Hilaria, okay.
It was celebrated around March 25th, and just like April Fools, involved masquerades and a good dose of lighthearted deception. So it's possible that this spirit of playful trickery has been around for much longer than we think.
So the Gregorian calendar theory might not be the whole story, but more like another chapter in a long history of springtime silliness. That's amazing. And what about the vernal equinox? It feels like it could have a connection here too.
That's a great point to bring up. The vernal equinox marks the beginning of spring, a season of unpredictable weather, renewal, and change. Some folks believe this sense of unpredictability might tie into the lighthearted chaos of April Fool's Day.
I could definitely see that. It's like embracing the unexpected, turning it into a day of laughter and fun.
Exactly. You could say it's like a ritualized way of acknowledging the unpredictable nature of things, especially during springtime.
So we've got calendar confusion, Roman revelry, and the chaotic energy of spring, all possibly contributing to the birth of April Fool's Day. It's like a perfect storm of historical circumstances.
And over time, these possibly separate threads evolved into the more standardized prank traditions we see today.
The classics. The salt and the sugar shaker trick, the fake spider prank, sending someone on a wild goose chase for something that doesn't exist. You can't forget those.
Oh, absolutely. And what's interesting is that most of these pranks are harmless. It's more about a good chuckle, a moment of surprise, and then everyone's in on the joke. And then, of course, mass media came along and things went up a notch.
I can just imagine the headlines and radio broadcasts. It must have been a golden age for large-scale pranks.
Oh, absolutely. The media definitely amplified the reach and creativity of April Fool's Day, and some of those hoaxes became legendary. Remember the BBC's spaghetti harvest report back in 1957?
Oh, yeah. The image of spaghetti growing on trees was so absurd, yet so believable at the time.
It's amazing how a shared, even if it's fictional experience like that, can become so ingrained in our culture.
It really highlights the power of a good hoax done right, especially when everyone's in on the fun. And in recent times, corporations have also jumped on the April Fool's bandwagon.
It's become a marketing tactic, hasn't it? You see brands trying to outdo each other with clever and funny announcements. Definitely. April Fool's Day gives companies a chance to showcase their lighter side, create some buzz on social media, and connect with their audience in a more playful way. And Google, they've really become the masters of the corporate April Fool's prank.
Oh, for sure. You almost wait with bated breath to see what crazy thing they'll come up with each year. Of course, We can't talk about April Fool's Day without mentioning the internet.
The internet has been a game changer. It's completely transformed the landscape of pranking.
It's like the world collectively decides to blur the lines between reality and fantasy for 24 hours.
It's amazing, isn't it? Viral pranks and those April Fool's memes, 2025 you mentioned, they spread like wildfire. It's a whole new level of global, instantaneous trickery.
It's almost overwhelming how quickly something can go viral. But jokes aside, do you think there's a deeper meaning behind April Fool's Day? Why do we, as a society, dedicate an entire day to playful deception?
It's a great question, and there are definitely some interesting psychological and social aspects at play. April Fool's Day could be seen as a sort of pressure valve, a sanctioned outlet for our mischievous impulses.
So it's like a day where we can bend the rules a bit, be a little bit subversive, without actually causing chaos.
Exactly. It's a temporary break from the seriousness of everyday life. And on a social level, shared laughter, even when you're the one being tricked, can create a sense of camaraderie. It strengthens bonds within groups.
I get it. It's a shared experience, a moment of collective amusement that transcends the prank itself. And then there's this idea of testing boundaries, right? That was something you highlighted in your notes.
Yes. April Fool's Day can be viewed as a way to playfully explore the limits of what's acceptable, to gently prod social norms without causing any real harm. It's like a safe space for social experimentation.
It's fascinating how something as seemingly simple as a prank can have so many layers. And at the end of the day, it comes back to the power of humor, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. There's something genuinely joyful about a well-executed April Fool's joke. It brings people together and reminds us not to take ourselves too seriously.
It's like a reminder to embrace the absurdity of life every now and then.
Precisely. But of course, there's always that fine line between a harmless prank and something that could be hurtful or offensive. That's the tightrope we walk on April Fool's Day.
That's the big question, isn't it? Where do we draw the line? How do we make sure our jokes stay on the fun side and don't cross over into negativity?
Well, a good starting point is remembering that pranks should never inflict emotional distress, physical harm, or damage to property. It sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how often that line gets blurred.
And context is everything, right? What might be hilarious to your best friend could be totally inappropriate for a colleague or a stranger.
Exactly. The same prank can land very differently depending on the relationship dynamics and the individual involved. And the internet, with its speed and reach, adds another layer of complexity. Even if something is intended as a joke, it can easily be misconstrued or spread misinformation.
It's true. That's why a healthy dose of skepticism is essential on April Fool's Day, especially online. We need to be extra vigilant about what we believe, even more so than usual.
It's like we need to activate our internal April Fool's radar that day, double-checking everything we see and hear.
And then there are all those social media challenges and trends that emerge. Some are brilliant, and some are just, well, not so much.
Social media definitely becomes a hotbed of April Fool's activity. It's like everyone's trying to outdo each other with the most creative or outrageous prank, and let's not forget the memes.
Ah, the memes. They're the perfect format for April Fool's humor. Quick, witty, and incredibly shareable. I'm sure by now our social media feeds are flooded with April Fool's memes 2025.
You can bet on it. Now, looking to the future, it'll be interesting to see how technology, especially the rise of AI, shapes the evolution of April Fool's Day.
This is where it gets really exciting. What kind of high-tech trickery can we expect in the years to come? Give me some futuristic foolishness.
Well, with AI becoming more sophisticated, we might see more personalized and nuanced pranks. Imagine AI-generated deepfakes so realistic you wouldn't even question their authenticity.
Wow, that's a whole other level. It makes you wonder how we'll even discern truth from fiction in the future, even on a day dedicated to deception. What about virtual reality? It seems ripe for some epic April Fool's shenanigans.
Oh, absolutely. VR opens up so many possibilities. Imagine being in a virtual environment and suddenly everything changes around you. It's a prank that's immersive and incredibly convincing. The possibilities are endless.
That's mind-blowing. But even with all these technological advancements, do you think the fundamental appeal of April Fool's Day will remain?
I think it will. While technology will undoubtedly influence the methods and scale of pranks, the human desire for lighthearted fun, for a break from routine, that's not going to change. That shared moment of laughter and surprise, that's a timeless human experience.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive into April Fool's Day, it's clear that it's much more than just a day of silly pranks. We've explored its hazy origins, possibly rooted in calendar changes and ancient festivals, and its evolution into a global phenomenon fueled by media and technology. It's a day that allows us to release tension, bond with others, and embrace the absurdity of life, all through the power of humor.
And we've also highlighted the importance of being mindful of the line between harmless fun and something that could be hurtful. In an increasingly digital world, it's crucial to be discerning and remember that even jokes can have unintended consequences.
So as you navigate this April Fool's Day, dear listeners, keep in mind that while technology might amplify the tricks and the reach of the day, the essence of April Fools remains the same. A shared moment of laughter and a reminder to embrace the lighter side of life.
And perhaps it also prompts us to reflect on our relationship with deception and humor in a world where technology constantly blurs the lines between what's real and what's not. It's a fascinating thought to ponder as we move forward, don't you think?
Food for thought indeed. That wraps up our deep dive for today.
Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. Remember to stay curious and keep those April Fool's radars on high alert.
And until next time, keep exploring the fascinating world around us.
See you on the next deep dive.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.